In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to combine multiple search conditions when filtering data. So let's say we want to get all the customers that are born after January 1st, 1990, who also happen to have more than 1,000 points. So this is where we use the AND operator. So we type out AND, and after we type out another condition, like points greater than 1,000. Now, when we execute this query, we only get customers who have both these conditions. Let's take a look. So execute, we only have two customers. And if you look, both these people are born after 1990 and they have more than 1,000 points. So this is the AND operator. When we use this operator, both these conditions should be true. In contrast to the AND operator, we have the OR operator. So with OR, if at least one of these conditions is true, that row will be returned in the result set. Let's take a look. Now we execute this query again. Instead of 2 records, we have quite a few records. So for example, we have this person who is not born after 1990, but if you look at their points, they have more than 1,000 points. So any customer records that satisfies at least one of these conditions will be returned. Now let's take this to the next level. Let's say we want to get customers who are either born after 1990 or they should have at least 1,000 points and live in Virginia. So this is how we do this. We type out and then we add another condition, state equals Virginia. Let's execute this query and see what we get. We only get 4 records. So these are the customers that are born either after 1990 or they have more than 1,000 points and live in Virginia. If you look at the first customer here, this person is not born after 1990, but you can see that she lives in Virginia and she has more than 1,000 points. So the last 2 conditions are true for this customer. Now, when combining multiple logical operators, you need to be aware of the order of these operators. So earlier I talked about the order of arithmetic operators. I told you that multiplication have a higher order than addition and subtraction. And we can use parentheses to override the default order. We have the same concept in logical operators. So the AND operator is always evaluated first. So when this query is executed, the query execution engine first evaluates this condition because here we're using an AND. It doesn't matter that we typed out this condition after the first condition because the AND operator has a higher precedence. Now you can always change the order using parentheses, and this also makes your code cleaner and easier to understand. So here we can put parentheses around these last 2 conditions. And also we can put these on a new line for clarity, something like this. So anyone who reads this code can easily understand what is the intent of this query. Now we also have another logical operator called NOT, and we use that to negate a condition. Let me show you. So I'm going to simplify our where clause. Let's say we're searching for customers who were born after 1990 or they have more than 1,000 points. If we execute this query, we get these people, customers with ID 1, 3, 5, and so on. Now we can use the NOT operator to negate this condition. So we apply NOT here, and preferably we also put parentheses around this condition. Now when we execute this query, we'll see other customers that are not in the current result set. Let's take a look. So instead of customers with IDs 1, 3, 5, 6, and so on, we get the customers with IDs 2, 4, and 10. Now technically these customers were born before 1990 and they have less than 1,000 points. So if you look here, this first customer was born before 1990 and he has less than 1,000 points. How did I know that? Let me show you a trick that I learned in math. Whenever you have a NOT operator, you can simplify your expression like this. We apply the NOT operator to the first condition. People who were born after 1990. How can we negate this condition? Well, the greater than operator becomes less than or equal to. That is the inverse of that condition, right? Now we apply the NOT to OR to negate the OR. What do we get? We get AND. Finally, apply the NOT operator on the last condition, people who have more than 1,000 points. When we negate this condition, we get customers with less than or equal to 1,000 points. Now we can remove the not operator to simplify this. We don't need parentheses anymore because we only have two conditions that are combined with an and. Here's the result. As you can see, this is much easier to read and understand. People who were born before this date and they have less than 1,000 points. All right, here's your exercise. From the order items table, get the items for order number 6, where the total price for that item is greater than 30. All right, here's the order items table. In this table, we have these columns: order ID, product ID, quantity, and unit price. If we multiply the quantity by unit price, we can get the total cost of that item. And then we can compare it with 30. So let's go ahead and write this query. Select star from order items, where here we need two conditions. One is for the order, so order underline ID should be 6. And the second condition, we want to calculate the total price. So we get the unit price, multiply it by quantity, and this value should be greater than 30. So as we can see, we can use an arithmetic expression in a where clause. It's not limited to the select clause, okay? Now let's execute this query and see what we get. We should get only one item. That is for product 1. Here the quantity is 4 and unit price is just over $8. So the total price for this item is greater than 30.